My grandmother's will said whoever ran her bakery alone for 14 straight days would inherit the building. On day 9, a health inspector walked in with a complaint about rodents. Grandma Ilsa ran that corner bakery for 51 years. Up at 3, in by 3:30, doors unlocked at 6, every day but Sunday. She used to say a bakery doesn't belong to whoever's name is on the deed. It belongs to whoever gets up. When she died at 87, her will was exactly as stubborn as she was. 4 grandchildren, 1 building. Whoever could run the shop alone for 14 consecutive days, no hired help, doors unlocked by 6 full posted hours, no closing early, got the property. Corner lot downtown, appraised around $740,000. Her attorney, Ms. Ashworth, would call twice a day to verify, 6 a.m. and close. My cousins thought it was free money. Delphine sells skincare online. Rory has never worked a job starting before 10. Weston has a business degree he mentions constantly. I was the only one who ever actually worked there. I started sweeping that floor at 12 and ran the morning bake through college. I knew what 14 days meant. Day 1, my alarm went off at 2:40 and I was already awake. By 6, I had rye, seeded loaves, 3 trays of kolaches, and the case filled. The regulars came in like nothing had changed. Mr. Petrakis asked about the poppy seed and cried a little when I handed it over in her old wax paper. Delphine quit on day 2. She called Ms. Ashworth at 11 a.m. and said the hours were unreasonable for a human being. Rory made it to day 5. He burned 3 batches, ran out of everything by 9, and locked the door at 10:15 with a handwritten sign, automatic disqualification. That left me and Weston. He'd drawn the second week, so he was just waiting. I settled into it. In at 3:15, mix, shape, proof, fake, open, sell, clean, order flour, sleep by 8. My hands cracked open. My back went out on day 7, and I worked through it standing sideways. But the case was full every morning, and the door opened at 6, and Ms. Ashworth's voice on the phone started sounding almost impressed. Then day 9, I was pulling the second bake at 9:40, when a woman came through the door with a badge and a clipboard and said she was with the county health department, responding to a complaint. Not a routine inspection, a complaint, filed anonymously that morning. Rodent droppings near the mixer, and a customer getting sick off something bought there the day before. She checked everything. Walk-in, dry storage, drains, under the proof box, behind the ovens. She pulled the mixer off the wall herself. The inspection took 4 hours. I had customers back to the sidewalk and couldn't serve one of them. She found nothing. No droppings, no evidence, no illness report on file with the county at all. She scored the shop a 98 and said it was one of the cleanest kitchens she'd seen that year. By then, Ms. Ashworth had driven over, because a county vehicle out front on day 9 of a 14-day term is exactly the kind of thing lawyers show up for. She stood in the doorway and asked what happened. I told her somebody called in a complaint that wasn't true. The inspector said the tip line records every call, and she'd pulled the audio before driving out because the details were oddly specific. She played it off her phone right there at the counter. A man's voice, far too calm for someone reporting a health emergency, describing droppings behind a mixer he could not possibly have seen from the customer's side, and adding that his sister had been sick all night. Weston doesn't have a sister. I knew the voice in 3 words. He does this thing where he overpronounces the ends of his words when he's lying. He's done it since he was 9. Ms. Ashworth's face didn't move. She said she records every call regarding an estate, a habit from 31 years of family disputes, and she'd send the comparison that afternoon. Then she looked at me and said Weston was disqualified as of that moment for interference with the terms of the will. The inspector said filing a false complaint is its own problem and she'd be forwarding it. I finished the 14 days anyway. Nobody made me. I wanted the number to be real. Ms. Ashworth called it close on day 14 and told me the building was mine. Weston fought it 2 months. He said the recording proved nothing. At the final estate meeting, Ms. Ashworth played it for the whole family, his voice filling my aunt's living room, calmly inventing a sick sister. My aunt hasn't spoken to him since. He lost a $740,000 building over a 4-minute phone call he assumed nobody kept. I still unlocked the door at 6.